County, CBS News.
Date night is a big night for us. Just me, my husband, some candles, and time alone, finally. And Sean added his own flair. He installed a Caseta smart lighting system by Lutron. He makes a big deal out of taking out his phone and the lights come down low. Very romantic. I think I married the right guy.
Caseta by Lutron. Simple to use, simple to set up. Learn how you can win a $5,000 smart home upgrade at OurLifeUpgrade.com. No purchase necessary. Ends 12/15/16.
This is Charles Osgood. Tax compliance can be a real pain for businesses. That's why I'd like to tell you about Avalara's powerful tax automation technology. Avalara simplifies sales tax and other business taxes with real-time tax rate calculations and automatic return filing. Avalara's software already integrates with your accounting, e-commerce, and point-of-sale systems, so it couldn't be easier. Find out how the good people at Avalara can help you at avalara.com. That's AVALARA.com.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us on this Monday morning. This is Younger Life Live. I'm Mary Anthony, and I have today
Mike Sanders.
Yeah.
Hey.
Rick is not joining us today, so he'll be missed. But he's here.
In
he's
spirit
around.
and in body. He's like right around the corner.
He's around. He's around for sure. Well, today we have a really good show. You know, we're always talking about all these community organizations that I'm constantly learning more about and surprised by the amount of things that these organizations really do to hold up our community and make it such a great one. And today we are lucky enough to be talking to another one of those great organizations.
The United Way.
United Way is amazing, by the way. I mean, over the weekend I was on their website just reading through some of the stuff, and my goodness, it's amazing. The United Way, the things that they do for really the world, but I mean, it is worldwide. So I think we should go ahead and introduce our guests.
All right.
Get busy talking about the United Way.
Howdy, howdy.
Can we start with you, Dave? Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself. And
well, sure. I'll just say I'm Dave Sisk with United Way of LaPorte County, and your hair looks better than Rick Federici Sanders. So it's a pleasure to look at what a real man's hair is.
Well, I can cam my cheeks and the top of my head at the same time, so it's a little cam
Right.
action.
So hopefully, Rick, wherever he's at here today in the studio, we've got him laughing a
this
little bit.
is true. Yes,
absolutely.
I appreciate it.
And I've been with United Way for a couple years here in LaPorte County. How about that?
Fantastic. Right. And Chris, could you introduce yourself and tell us?
Good morning. My name is Chris Pate. I'm the director of the United Way of LaPorte County and a LaPorte County native. So it's good to be back here after a short stint in Pittsburgh.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That's
United
cool.
Way work out in Pittsburgh, or
no? I actually did a variety of other things, but I missed Lake Michigan so much and lots of family and all that, so I just had to come back.
I love that the family came second. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
It's just funny. I miss Lake Michigan so much, and you know the family.
It's
not
prettier
least.
here.
It's funny.
It's prettier here and be family.
Yeah.
You know, those three rivers in Pittsburgh are really cool, but they just don't even compare to our Lake Michigan. Oh.
We are a little spoiled in that sense, and we
sure.
sometimes forget that we are. You know, you go away a while and you come back, or you know, and you realize, wow. I mean, it's just such a beautiful lake, and it's a beautiful area, and And it actually offers us a lot more options for things to do and stuff that you don't have everywhere. So.
As a transplant, I have learned to love the area and the beaches too. So it's just having it so close, you do take it for granted sometimes.
So where are you from?
Originally, I'm from New York.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and
Well,
we have
welcome.
we have waterways
We're
there
glad
too,
you're
but no one's
here.
ever going to play in it. So thank you for having me.
And probably shouldn't.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
So, okay, good. So, Chris, how long have you been with the organization then?
I've been with United Way a little over 4 years. I have done a variety of work with nonprofits actually in my background.
Really?
Although I was a stay-at-home mom for a long time. And
That's the best job.
yeah, it was awesome. I homeschooled even
Oh
during
my
that
goodness.
period of
Bravo
time.
you.
yeah, for part of the time with my kids, and they did some time in public schools, and so it was a good experience that way. I learned a lot of things I missed in elementary school, right? Yeah, so now I'm the expert on grammar and, all that good stuff, where the periods go and why you have a long vowel and all those things. Yeah.
I often find as the parent, you do, in relearning, when you're learning with your kids, you kind of, it sticks a little more. You think,
That's what it is.
Yeah,
Once you teach it,
I have a 7-year-old grandson, so right now I'm even learning the new math.
Oh,
And
they
that's
have changed everything.
Oh gosh.
You know, it's
No, really,
incredible.
it hasn't been bad. It's been interesting.
Well,
Has it?
Makes sense.
It's interesting to me. My oldest is 16. My husband and I, we have 5 kids, and they range from 16 down to our youngest is 4. So obviously there's a bunch in the middle there.
Right.
And so between when she was going, learning new math, and I was learning the way she, was doing it different than I had been taught. Even the younger ones now are doing it different
Absolutely.
than the way she had been taught.
Wow.
And so I'm thinking, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
I know, I can tell you, I know what the answer is. I have to figure out how
Like,
they
how am I
got
supposed
you
to
to that
show
answer.
you? Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't totally confuse
Well,
them
the
forever.
good thing is I'm starting with first grade
Yeah.
right now, and
That's-
so I get to start from the
From
beginning.
from
So
scratch and fresh
I'm going
and
to get
work
good
up.
at this.
Oh.
You'll learn
Exactly.
with them. It's fun.
Exactly.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
I'm-
That's
So
great.
I'm no good
any
with
of
that
it.
stuff, yeah.
I worked around the area a lot. I worked in a alternative to out of school program when I first went back to work. I've worked in prisons. I've worked in mental hospitals. I was a forensic interviewer over at Doombrook, and a trainer of forensic interviewers. As a matter of fact, last week I did a training for some police and probation folks all about identifying, reporting child abuse. So we want to talk about health. That's one thing we have to make sure our kids are healthy and taken care of in every way. So anyway, that's
Well,
a little
no,
bit
that's-
about me.
I'm
That's a
curious
wealth
for
of
both
knowledge
of
for
you.
United
I mean,
Way.
absolutely. I'm always interested to find out what brings you here
Yeah.
and to the place that you're at now. So you sound like you've always been drawn to kind of this type of giving back organization. This has always been the kind of work you've always just gravitated towards.
Yeah, I would say so. And it's interesting because I did have an opportunity to go back into working in one of the nonprofits here when I came back. But to me, I felt like being involved with United Way made it so that I could help all the organizations, help the community as a whole.
Right.
Where I love the work I did at an agency, and it was really good. I don't know, sometimes it can be hard, sometimes it can be sad, but you feel good that you're trying to help.
Yeah.
But with United Way, I can feel that way overall, that I'm helping the agencies. And the other thing about United Way that is so incredibly important is that we're listeners. We pay attention to what's going on in the community, what are the needs, and then because we're so well networked with all these organizations, we can bring them together at a table to figure out how do we really go about fixing some of these problems. And to me, that is the most important part of United Way.
It's incredible, the
That's
network
awesome.
alone.
Yeah.
Dave, what about you? Have you always been drawn towards the same kind of, the same kind of idea? Always had the desire to work in a field like
The
this?
do-goodery.
Like you do?
Yeah, well, you know what?
The
I,
do-goodery. I like that.
Back when I was going to college, I went to IU in Bloomington, and I'm told I had a good time. And
You reminded.
Wow.
I love
thank you.
that.
Ta-dun, ta-dun. And I thought I was going to be a business major. And I took an accounting course, and probably in that first week dropped out immediately. And,
Math is not Dave's
and
favorite
just
topic.
just did not
New
know
world.
what I was doing, but but ended up actually in criminal justice. So
Really?
graduated with criminal justice, and coming out of college, started in a juvenile detention center, actually in Goshen, and then became a probation officer for kiddos in Elkhart County, and then adults in St. Joe County.
Wow.
And through that experience of being a good guy probation officer, quote unquote, I was one of the cool ones, I guess, and was really trying to make a difference and help some of the kids and families. That's kind of what I was all about. There were other probation officers that maybe didn't look at things that way, but that's when it started to hit me a little bit, and knew that I could do more, not sitting in a probation officer's office and having them come to me and report out because they have to. I thought, boy, man, wouldn't this work a lot better if we could get out of the office and do other. Anyway, all of those things led to a job at United Way in South Bend, and I've been with United Way as a system for about 15 years now.
Oh, man.
About 11 of that in St. Joe County, where we started the 211 program, which we'll talk about a little bit here, and grew that into a 5-county system. And now it's housed in Fort Wayne, and has about 12 or 13 counties attached to it, and it's statewide. And 211 is like 911, but 211 is United Way 24/7 for human health and social services.
Yes. You know what? And I love this concept. I think it's just genius. It really is. And so, first of all, I have to say, it does sound like you've always been, you might not have even known it, but it sounds like you've always been attracted to that, that's definitely who you are, wanting to give back, make better. Because
both.
I think that's definitely true. I mean, probation officer, there are lots of them that don't have the same view as far as the, rehabilitation and prevention side of things, just kind of, I think that's wonderful. And I think that is what we need so much. Our community doesn't realize how much that we are stabilized by organizations like United Way, and the network is incredible. I mean, you guys really have your hand in everything. And I think that's why it works so well. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. And people that are in trouble at whatever degree, those community services that are there to help them, more than not, are United Way funded.
Right. Wow.
So I mean, that's how some of that all came together as well too, under that United Way umbrella, with mentoring. And when I was a probation officer, you wanted to get kids into the Boys and Girls Club, United Way funded.
Right.
You wanted to get them into mentoring and Big Brothers Big Sisters, United Way funded. So it all made such a the perfect puzzle come together.
It's incredible. Can we start with there are so many programs. I mean, when I was reading, there are so many things that I jotted down I was really interested about. But can we start with the 211? I think that is...
Sure. Absolutely. And I'll start and Chris jump in here. 211 is a 3-digit phone number, first of all. It is just like dialing 911 on your phone, but it's 211. Any phone, anywhere, anytime. It also has its own website, myunitedway211.org.
It does.
So,
I noticed that. Wow.
And really what I like to say is the sky is the limit when it comes to human health and social services. It's live answer. So you're going to get a live person every single time you call. But let's say that you're looking for where a free flu shot is. Well, when the health departments are given those flu shots, the 211 folks know. You can dial 211, and they will know your local health department's schedule to get a flu shot, what that costs, if there is a cost involved, and all that sort of stuff.
It's amazing. When did that happen? When did you get this phone number?
So you know what?
When did you get this, and how come I don't know about it?
Yeah, it's the best kept secret. It is statewide. So anywhere in Indiana, okay, and it's been around for about 10 years.
Really?
10 years.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It seems like just in the last year, I've heard some commercials and advertisements that I've thought that is really an amazing concept to me. I'm curious, how in the world does training? How are these people? How is their training done? I don't understand how they have access to they just realize, they're connected to all these people through networking.
Absolutely. So it's connected through networking. It's connected through media and news outreach. And I just know that it's just a great resource. One of the examples I like to say is everybody knows about Toys for Tots, right?
Yep.
And everybody sees the collection drives for Toys for Tots. How do you sign up to get that? And do you really know? 211. Absolutely. 211. Absolutely.
Wow.
Did you know that?
Every time you ask a question, I'm going to answer it with that.
Some of the things we like to talk about is during Christmas time giveaways from our Salvation Armies, for example, which are United Way funded. How do you sign up for Christmas assistance? Do you know that you better have done that by Thanksgiving time to get on the list?
Wow. No. That's incredible. And this is why this is such an important topic for today. I'm so grateful you guys
Healthy
came in.
food, food pantries.
Right.
There are tons of food pantries all over our county. Which one should you go to? What time are they open?
Yeah.
What do you need to bring with you when you walk into that food pantry? And what can you expect to get when you walk into that food pantry?
Incredible.
211 knows all of that stuff, and that's what's amazing.
Utility assistance and stuff in the winter, that's the same, right?
Absolutely.
I had no idea until, again, I had actually read that online.
You can even call and they'll go through and check on SNAP benefits for you and HIP 2.0, get you going with insurance. I mean, they can help people with all those kinds of things. One of the things that's really beneficial on our end is that they keep track of all the calls that come in, what people are asking for, and they also keep track of when there's no service to meet that need. And then they send us a report every quarter, so we know what people are looking for, we know whether or not they're getting their needs met, and we know where our gaps are. So that's huge for us when we're talking about planning and community growth and that sort of thing.
Let's see.
I think we have someone calling.
Okay, perfect.
Headphones
You want
on
to grab
here.
your headphones?
And let's see who we have on the line. Hey. It's Younger Life Live. Who's calling?
Hey, Mike Sanders.
Hey, we're doing a show. What's up?
Oh, I'm just calling to say hello. How's the show going?
It's going good. You have any United Way experiences that you would like to share?
United Way experiences as far as the organization that helps people?
There you go.
Absolutely.
I think it's a wonderful organization. I wish I could do more for them. They're great when it comes to the tragedies, hurricanes, and helping people out, like the Salvation Army.
See, which is funded by the United Way.
Right,
So
absolutely.
thanks, Steve. Call us back later, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks. Well, at least there's a little Bravo call. That's nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another thing, veteran.
So veteran services,
Veteran
what are they?
services,
Where are
right.
they? You can dial 211 and find out. If you want to do a donation drive, what's needed in the community? How do you do that?
These people know
it's just-
everything.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
It really
211 is
is. It
the
really
number to
is.
call. I'm like-
It really is. We hand out discount prescription cards at United Way campaigns, and you can dial 211 to have. They'll mail you one. And what these are for anybody that does not have insurance, or if you've got insurance, if you have something that your insurance doesn't cover. These cards will save you money out of pocket. They're from supported by United Way. It's called Family Wise Discount Prescription Card. Let me say that there's no reason to buy a discount prescription card or to call in when you see those commercials.
I've seen the commercials.
Yeah, I know.
And you consider it when you see it, but
Right.
there's no reason you're saying because
These
gotta cover
are
all.
exactly the same thing. They're free from United Way. No questions asked. No income. No age. None of those. Things are going to get asked. The pharmacist just rings in our number, and you will be able to save money out of pocket. So my plea to the listeners and the watchers is that please do not pay full price for anything at that counter. Use one of these cards. It will save you money. Last year, people in LaPorte County saved over $250,000.
Wow, LaPorte County only?
Yes, just by using this silly
That's
card
That is
incredible.
that you will get from United Way, that you can call 211. They'll mail it to you.
That is wow.
you guys are going to get like a flood of calls
Yes.
in the next half
So I mean,
hour.
talk about health.
I'm using my cell phone right now to call.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, it really does work. And one of the tricks that Chris and I will also talk about is even if you have insurance. Now, you can't double dip on this stuff.
Right.
But let's say you have insurance, but your insurance ain't so hot.
Okay.
You may experiment with the numbers on this card. And
see if it's
sometimes
better.
the numbers on this card
Oh, yeah.
is going to be cheaper for you out of pocket than what you're going to pay through your insurance company.
I'll tell you my first experience with this. My husband didn't have prescription insurance. And so we were going to the pharmacy, and I just kind of thought, oh, why don't we try this card? I'd never tried it, you know? And so I handed it to him. The prescription was $30. He paid $15. That was my first experience with it. So
Half
it's
price,
amazing.
Just 50% right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Nothing better than a good sale.
Yeah,
No,
I
I'm
know.
telling you.
Good
Right,
discount,
exactly.
you know.
All right, well, what other goodies do you got? 'Cause I'm like,
so-
okay, I got
We're
this one
loving
written down.
it,
So yeah, I would say on this card that we
great.
hand out at all of our campaigns, and you can dial 211, they'll mail one to you. On this card, that you've got the FamilyWise website too, and you can go on their website and you can put in the drug that you're looking for, and I think you also put in your zip code, and it'll tell you about the price you can expect to pay
Oh, wow.
using
that's
this
nice.
card. So I mean, so again. And we're already 30 minutes into the show,
Yeah.
and we've barely
Again,
touched
I
on
know,
United
yeah.
Way.
One
And these are
aspect.
just
Yeah.
two things that people don't know.
And
That
Dave's
we're
got to
doing.
tell you, too, about VITA, because
Yeah,
you
okay.
sign up for VITA through 211.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I know about this one.
Well, this is another best kept secret
All right.
of
Okay.
United Way.
Yeah.
Just jotted it down.
Wait
I
till
got
you
it.
hear this one.
All right.
VITA stands for Volunteer Income Tax Assistance, VITA. And you can dial 211 at tax time, and we'll tell you all about it, and we'll get you set up. If you earn $54,000 or less, you can dial 211, and we will set you up with a free tax appointment with a certified IRS professional, and we will file your taxes electronically, state and federal, absolutely free,
Wait a minute.
using IRS software and H&R Block software. It is just like walking into an H&R Block is great, and I'll tell you even more about this online that we're doing. It's just like walking into a tax office, and we're going to do it absolutely for free.
That's incredible.
So talk about financial peace here and the health of that.
Oh, absolutely.
Saving money out of pocket. Hundreds of dollars that you would spend to do your taxes. We're doing it absolutely free. We do it at the Salvation Army. We do it at State Street Church this year. We're doing it at the Michigan City Library, and we're doing it out at Purdue in
Or as an
Westville.
added benefit, you're lowering blood pressure.
Yeah.
People, you're taking the stress off of
Absolutely.
people.
Absolutely. So you can have a professional sit with you, and right there, just a tax professional doing your taxes for free, and then the state and federal, it's all filed electronically, and you get your refunds in about 2 weeks or whatever.
and to go ahead and find out about that or register for an appointment, 211.
Yeah, tax
Yeah.
time. Think of 211.
211.
VITA.
Yeah.
All right.
And get your taxes done for free. Now, if you are over that, and let's say you're at $64,000 and under with your income, you can go online to myfreetaxes.com. And there sits the United Way logo, and there sits the H&R Block logo. And if you are, and this is very easy to do, it's very point and click. You can run through the H&R Block software and file your taxes, state and federal, electronically for free on myfreetaxes.com. I did it last year. Super simple. It double checked all of my answers. It asked me other questions, just like a tax person would if I were talking to a real person, I guess.
Yeah.
And then it checked my chances for an audit, and then it said, okay, it looks like you're ready. I pressed a button, boom, it sent it electronically to the state, sent it electronically to the IRS. I got a text message back that my refund was approved, and they got it
that's
and
nice.
expect it in a couple weeks. And so anyway, it was just like using a tax program that you would buy in a store, except this was absolutely free.
I was gonna say, the programs are quite costly. You know,
Yeah,
can
there's
be,
no,
so.
and it's updated every year, so there's
Yeah.
no need to, you don't need to buy any of that stuff.
Wow.
Well,
that's
again, the
fantastic.
211 workers right now who are like taking a break to listen to the show, we apologize for the influx of calls you're going to
Yeah.
get. I'll be calling in just about 35 minutes. I got to take advantage of
But
that
we
too.
say,
Like,
we honestly, wow, they know everything.
Well, I mean,
I'm
really,
just-
why wouldn't you call just to see what's out there for
That-
you and
Yeah,
your neighbors?
absolutely.
And I want to add to that, Dave gave you a website. Say it again, Dave.
myfreetaxes.com.
Yeah, but the 211 website.
myunitedway211.org.
Okay, I always want to make sure I get the ending right. But if you go there, we hear all the time from people, hey, remember you used to make that little where to turn book that told you who to call if you needed something? Well, 211 online, if you go up under the report section and then click on LaPorte County, it has a book that's probably 2 inches thick that you could print out if you wanted
Really?
to. That is every resource in LaPorte County.
That's
or
nice.
on the very first landing page when you first come in, you can put in your zip code, put some keywords for what you're looking for, and it'll tell you everything in your area that you need. Where you could go to get your need met.
So it's a
amazing.
great tool for counselors. It's a great tool for probation officers. It's a great tool for anybody that needs to know what those social services are in our community.
Right.
And the great thing about this with 211 is it's updated constantly. One of the reasons why we, as United Way, we used to print those books.
Yeah.
And it cost a lot of money, but we went through that and we printed those books. And probably the minute they came off the press, something was
updated.
Yeah,
a food
exactly.
pantry was closed, or a food pantry changed its hours because of its volunteers couldn't make it, or something like that. So this is updated almost constantly.
It should be a
the
bookmark favorite.
efficiency
Yeah,
is incredible.
absolutely.
And something like
Absolutely.
this,
So,
Wow.
I mean, it's just an
It's
incredible
remarkable.
tool, an incredible program by United Way that just, again, a lot of people don't know about. A
that's
lot of people know about us when we're asking for the buck. And don't get me wrong, that's what we do.
Yeah.
That's how we make all this stuff happen. And a lot of times it's in the fall. It's going on right now where we're out there campaigning for all of those great agencies that we know and love in our community, and everything's local. These are some of those other things that are so important that people don't know about. With that Vitus stuff, so I did the prescription cards and how much people saved. Last year, people saved over $150,000 in just tax fees that they would have been
Wow.
paying
Just in our county.
Just in our county.
just to get their taxes
Wow.
done. So you think about people that are earning under $52,000, $54,000 paying that kind of money to get their taxes done, and you don't have to, folks.
Yes.
And then even up that to 64 and under, 64,000 under, you can go online and do the software.
Still get assistance. Yeah.
And
It's still free.
And you don't have to buy that
Wow.
So
software
myunitedway211.org.
You got it.
Okay.
Or
make sure I got
just
that
call
written
it.
Yep.
You
No,
just call
my
it.
211.
Here it is right there.
Let's see.
Okay, there you go.
My United Way
My
211.
United Way
Oh, I'm sorry.
211.
Okay, yeah, in that one.
Got
You know
it.
what? The other thing that I think we really need to stress here, because there's so many organizations that you can donate to that are international organizations similar to the United Way. But the difference with United Way is that your money stays here in LaPorte County. It's raised here, it stays here. We pay about 1% in a membership fee, but in return for that, we get tremendous resources that help us within our community to be able to be those good listeners and help bring our community together. But all the rest of it stays right here. And it's volunteers just like you guys that come together and interview agencies and really, go through and make sure that we're doing the best we can. And they're the ones that decide where the money goes. I mean, we don't sit around in our office at United Way and make those decisions. We bring people in from the community, folks, our donors, whoever wants to volunteer.
That's amazing. Can you give us a little bit of background? How long has the United Way been in existence?
Over 125 years
Wow.
Here in the United States. It got started out in Denver. But for us, this is our 20th anniversary this year. So we're really letting
really?
people know
Congratulations.
that. Thank you. Not that it's only been in LaPorte County for 20 years. It's been here quite a bit longer than that. And I've forgotten the date. But 20 years ago, the United Way of LaPorte and the United Way of Michigan City merged together to save fees
save
and
money.
costs.
Absolutely.
Exactly. I
And
mean,
to be more united.
that's
Yeah.
exactly
If you will.
right.
We
With
are really
United,
one community.
we try to practice what we preach because we always encourage our agencies to run as efficiently as they possibly can, to share resources. Some of our new project work that we've gotten started to be able to reach the goals that the community has told us that they want. You know, that work, we're doing it all in collaboration. As a matter of fact, we launched our very first project this past July. We started out with 6 organizations. We're now up to 9 because as people are hearing about this, they want to be a part of it. And we have goals that we've gotten from the community and from our needs assessments. And then they break it out and they say, okay, here's how we can prove at our organization that we're helping to meet that goal. And so they're all tracking it. They've signed an agreement that they will work together, share resources, communicate with one another, and every 6 months give us at United Way their outcomes. So we can be so much better now at coming back to the community and saying, this is what your dollars have really accomplished. So this is the first time we've worked this way. In the past, it's always been an agency applies for funding and, you know, we review all their materials, look into their organizations, we get volunteers in to listen to all this, and they would get some type of an allocation. Well, now we're moving to an approach where the goal is set by the community, and then United Way says, okay, here's the goal. If you think you can help us reach this goal, you come and tell us how you'll do it. And you have to use the same kind of measurement tools, you have to be looking at the same kind of outcomes, and you have to be willing to give us results every 6 months. And we've got folks signing on. So the first one we launched was on financial stability. And so we've got work going on in financial literacy, work going on in finding employment, getting people job ready, and also in reducing homelessness. Those are the 3 overarching goals under financial stability, with a lot of indicators that we're working on under those goals. And then next July, what we're working toward right now is bringing our other organizations together outside of the financial literacy group to talk about how can we support youth in LaPorte County? How can we support our children who are trying to become school ready? So early childhood, pre-K, that sort of thing. How do we know if we've really prepared them to go to school, and how can we measure that? And then the other piece of that is once our kids get into school, how do we stick with them? How do we make sure they're hitting their milestones, 3rd grade reading, graduation, of course, and how are we supporting their health, their mental health? How are we helping them stay drug-free? You know, using mentoring programs and educational programs, things like that. How are we teaching our kids financial literacy? We could be doing that.
That's a great point. And I love all of those things. We've done a couple really good shows that tie right into that. On, you know, we partnered with the library for a show on early childhood literacy that was just fantastic because statistically, it's shocking. You know, I joke that sometimes I feel like I live under a rock because I'm unaware of some of the issues that maybe every community faces, even our own. And it can be eye-opening to realize how many kids struggle just maybe because there's a lack of support at home, even when the parents maybe don't realize that they're not being supportive. It necessarily isn't intentional, you know. And so, I mean, I think United Way really has their hand in everything.
Yeah, the scope is so broad. I mean, you're doing financial literacy,
right?
And you mentioned the 3 aspects that you're tackling, but there's so much more underneath all of that
there
too.
is.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
And
So
there's
it's incredible.
Probably at least 10 indicators under those 3 goals that we're working on to measure, to see, is it getting better? And then when we take our outcomes every 6 months and come back together, it's not just the organizations that have signed on, it'll be others in financial stability and having them come in. So there's the account. United Way and the agencies looking at it. It's other folks coming in and saying, well, you know, I don't really see that we're moving the needle over here in this area. So what do we need to do differently? What do we need to do more of in order to make that happen? And so, like I said, it's the first time for us that we can really give good feedback to the community on specific goals that we're working on. And it's the first time we've been able to work with agencies in such a way that we hold them accountable also, which they want. Our organizations around here, they want to be successful. We have some of the most incredible organizations, and their willingness to work together, even when it's hard, you know, because some of this stuff where we're pushing people to share a little more resources, I mean, that's not always easy. It can be risky. It can be a little scary. But they have been on board every
That's when you
step
get
of
the
the
best
way.
outcomes.
I know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they know that too. And we're so proud of them for being willing to take those risks.
And what we've done through United Way is bring these social service agencies together that Chris has been talking about with financial stability and link them with the business world as well, too. So I will tell you that there are jobs in LaPorte County. There are jobs that are paying $18 and up an hour in LaPorte County.
You don't say.
But there are, but when you apply for some of those jobs, and one of my bad subjects that you've heard earlier is math, there's math on the application. And if you flunk that math on the application, you're not going to get hired for one of these jobs. So one of those impact areas, this new way of doing business is with some of these social services is, here are some of these businesses that have openings, but people aren't passing the math portion of their application. And you're doing financial literacy and you're doing helping people with gain employment. Let's do this quote unquote for real now. Here's the business. Let's get
Link
there.
them up.
Let's link these people up and let's link them up with your organization. And just a couple of weeks ago, with this new financial piece that we're doing within United Way, we've had one of our first success stories who did not pass that initial math portion of a test and went to one of our partners and worked.
Grace Learning Center. Shout out to Kristen Patterson.
Yeah, there you
We
go.
had her on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, she's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Isn't she amazing?
So funded by United Way.
See, that's incredible. Honestly, I didn't even know that. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. It's incredible to me.
Yeah.
These pieces work.
She's working with
So
these
tightly.
folks. They've passed their application and they are now hired and have health insurance
Yeah.
at their job, making over $18 an hour. And again, you didn't know that, but that was kind of United Way-ish, right? in
Yeah,
there.
no, that's
and
awesome.
I think that's the beauty in it. It is amazing, and it's success. The United Way in general, it's proven by, like you said, this started in July. We are still just now in the middle of September, and you've already had this many organizations agree, sign up, and are on board. It's amazing.
Yeah, one of our problems and with United Way is during campaign time, and we go into businesses and we usually have about 5 minutes to tell the United Way
really?
story. And as you can tell, it's never enough. But that's how much time we have, so we have to go through some stuff really, really quick with folks and ask them for a buck. And then that's pretty much it. We have to walk away from that. And so the United Way story is so much more than that, folks, than the time we're allotted in these great businesses that let us come in and do our thing. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But we pretty much hit our brochure and ask for a buck and walk out of there. And no one really gets this full picture of what the heck this United Way thing is in the community. And everything we've mentioned today, agencies you didn't know about,
That's
programs you didn't know about, all have a United Way connection.
Wow.
At the end of the day in LaPorte County, 1 in 4 people utilize something funded by United Way.
Wow.
Absolutely.
It's incredible. I know, we certainly don't want to spend too much time talking about these amazing programs and not address at all the funding issue.
Right.
You said, Dave, that fall is typically your campaign time. Can you take a couple minutes and tell us about what really that involves when you say these organizations? Are you strictly go to organizations to raise money, or can anybody donate, and how does that happen?
The more the
or
merrier.
do we call 211?
Call 211
Yeah,
to tell
no.
you.
It's amazing.
You can actually go even on our website
Okay.
and make a donation to United Way. Just take your charge card and run it right through United Way, LPC.org. You can just go in and donate now. But you can send a check in the mail. Some people, what they like to do is they like to spread their donation out over a year's time because it's easier on them, and then they feel like they can make a little more substantial donation. So they could do a quarterly payment out of their charge card, or they could send us a check every quarter. Or if they happen to work somewhere that does an employee campaign, they can be set up so that a little bit of money is taken out of their pay each time they get paid. And the United Way of the past, I hate to say this, but a lot of times there were people who were well-meaning, but they would kind of strong arm their employees to give. And we do not believe in that. That's just not healthy. If we can't come in and tell our story and have it be important enough to a person that they want to take a buck out of their paycheck every time they get paid and have it go to United Way, then I guess we haven't told our story well enough. But we don't want people feel forced to give. That's why when Dave talks about when he goes in, or any of our other volunteers, because we have a lot of volunteers that go in and help us. And if there's anyone out there that would like to be a volunteer, we'd love to have you. But when he goes out, he doesn't just go out and ask for that buck or whatever a person can afford to give. He's going out taking these employee prescription cards and taking 211 cards, and letting them know that there are services available for you. You can get your taxes done for free and all these other kinds of things.
It's a story and tangible benefits
absolutely
that you can use right now.
So this morning before today, I was at a LaPorte elementary school, and with the elementary teachers sitting there, and talked about our kindergarten countdown program, which they knew very well about. A 4-week camp pre-K program, taking kids not ready for the first day of kindergarten, getting them ready, getting them back into kindergarten on that first day and ready to go.
Wow.
So talk about the kids that don't know how to line up. These are kids that have never held a book. These are kids that maybe have never run away from mom or dad.
Yeah, we're talking about kids who haven't had a preschool experience.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things I'll throw at you is in New Prairie schools in kindergarten, they start with, guess what now, in kindergarten? They start with an iPad.
I know. Our school.
So think
really
about
robust.
a kid that doesn't have internet at home.
Right.
Or
never
has
been
no
on.
Maybe never.
that.
Maybe there's not even any books in the home.
Oh.
I mean,
Don't
we have
say
children
that.
who start school. They've never opened a book. They've never held a pencil.
Let
And
alone
they're jumping right into
let alone
Exactly.
That's it. Right. The
And
electronic
then they're
aspect.
sitting next to a child who's maybe had 2 or 3 years of preschool. And for us, the part that's so heartbreaking is to think, how does that child feel? They're just a normal 5-year-old, but they haven't had the benefit of all these enriching experiences. So day number 1 of kindergarten, they feel stupid. They feel like they're less than their classmates.
And they're behind.
That's
and
heartbreaking.
they're behind.
mentally detrimental right there.
Absolutely.
I mean that sets the tone
Absolutely.
for them in a negative light. For
So
sure.
so we do a 4-week camp in a New
Yeah.
Prairie. It's getting them ready to learn how to use those
Gadgets.
technology pieces
Yeah.
that people in kindergarten are using now. And the teachers really picked up on the discount prescription cards, not only for themselves, but they know kiddos and their parents who may not be able to afford, and the kid is missing some doses or should be on something, whatever the case may be. And so they pick up all the prescription cards I can bring in.
Now, for your camp, for the kids going into going out of preschool who didn't get the preschool experience going into kindergarten, did teachers know about this? How do they find the students who are ready for a program?
So
like
yes, they do. And the school corporation, during their kindergarten roundup, when those kids coming in, and a lot of times they know the family, they will earmark some of those kids for our camps.
Okay,
So
so it's a teacher doing a kind of a loose
They do.
evaluation.
Kindergarten roundups, most schools do them, and it will be a brief. You'll come in. It's a kind of a brief thing. You come in, your kid gets to kind of see the school. They think it's fun. They get to see the classroom, and they'll also say, kind of test them on a few things like, hey, do you know how to color this, or do you know how to write your name?
You know how to write your name.
Just little
That's a big
things,
one.
to see if they know their colors, their shapes, kind of. But it does give them a sense of who may need something like this. I didn't even know existed, and I have 5 kids.
I didn't know. I got 4 kids. I didn't know that. We all went to preschool, so I didn't know
it's
that
pretty
there was a thing.
incredible, you know.
And
but
there's a pre-test and a post-test, so we can tell if these kids have been able to make progress, and they do. They really do.
I think the efficiency of the
beautiful. I
United
love
Way is one thing that I'm awed by. Is aside from constantly evolving programs, and changing,
right.
but you mentioned. Not only is there a pre-test for every program, it sounds like there's an initial assessment, post. You do the same thing afterwards, but you're also finding the gaps. That's so efficient.
Yeah.
I can't get over it. I mean, I think that's has to be a learned thing. I mean, it has to have evolved from the beginning to be that efficient now. That's why they've been around forever.
Over 100 years. Yeah.
Well, we spent the last 2 years before we started our first project going out into the community, having these conversations, looking at all the needs assessments. But there was another piece that was really helpful. We had interns from some of our local universities, and best practice research in our main areas, which are education, financial stability, and health. So what they did is they looked at successful programs around the country and some even out of the country. And what we asked them to do was pull out the keys to success. And so we did two things. First of all, we took all those keys to success from best practice programs, we put them together, and we looked for what rises to the top as the most frequent. And so from that, we knew that there were certain things that we needed to do in all of our programming if we really wanted to be successful. And then we broke each one down. So let's talk about education. What are the keys to successful education programs? And so again, we had that information rise to the top. And that part has to be a part now of the programming we do. And those reports are on our website, unitedwaylpc.org. If you click on impact and go down to the bottom, it has reports, and you'll be amazed at the things. You'll find our 2 years of research and everything we learned. You'll find a summary of all the needs assessments that were done on LaPorte County since 2005.
Wow.
And we haven't even talked about ALICE yet. Have you guys heard about ALICE?
Fill us in.
All right.
Another great one.
It's an acronym that stands for Asset Limited, Income Constrained, Employed. So we're talking about folks who are working.
Right.
And they are really struggling to make ends meet. And one of the things you'll see in our brochure this year is that when we measure how many households are in poverty and or living, they're not making ends meet, even though they may be working, the ALICE households, you put that together and you got 37% of the households in LaPorte County who are struggling.
Working yet struggling.
Right.
Yeah.
So now you see where that 1 in 4 also comes into play.
Yeah,
how I
absolutely.
wasn't making that up at all. These are stats right from our own government here.
Yeah.
And that's
now
why
you
we
can
say, we have, we have people who give large amounts to United Way. Our leadership givers, they give $1,000 or more every year. We have 2 affinity groups. One of them is Women United, and those are women who are leadership givers. They give $1,000 a year. Sometimes they break it out over the course of the year. But they have formed what we call a United Way Affinity Group, and they've taken on eliminating poverty as their main goal. And so last year, they contributed alone, that group, $15,000 project. Plus, they're out there bringing in all kinds of like bridges out of poverty to educate people. What's the difference in growing up in poverty to not? How does that change your thinking and the way you look at things? What your priorities are? So all that work that they're doing, and then I don't know how much time we have left, but not very much, I can tell.
Not enough.
Okay,
Not
so,
enough. Yeah.
so
this is a two-parter.
yeah, so this Thursday and Friday we have 2 kickoff events.
Okay,
and the
please
reason,
tell us
and
about
I'll tell you about the Thursday one last, because I want to tell you about the Friday one first, because it's a kickoff of another United Way affinity group, and this is our Student United Way. So over at Michigan City High School is going to be our first pilot, and we've got all the administration on board, great supporters of this. We've got students all coming together to. When they raise money, the money goes to help pay for them to go to United Way leadership conferences and do things like alternative spring break, or they might gather books for the kindergarten countdown. But it's teaching them how to be a good community member. And so there's actually going to be a kickoff
at the football game Friday night, Michigan City.
So it's like your own. It's like your own farming system to build your new leaders of the future.
Absolutely.
That's so
awesome.
important.
That's
That's
you
exactly.
have to have that.
Yes.
You do have to have that, and I think that's why it keeps going and going. And I know we don't have a lot of time left. I want people to know, for one, how to donate. Go to the website.
Sure. So at your business,
Yes.
if United Way is there, or go to the website unitedwaylpc.org. Here's one last plug, then I'll throw it back here to never donated to United Way, this year is a fantastic time. Any gift of $100 or more is matched 100%.
Really?
And also any gift that is increased by $100 or more, that increase is matched dollar for dollar.
That's amazing.
So your new gift of $100 or your increased gift of $100 is matched 100%. It's like doing $200.
That's
So
that's
a great
amazing.
time
That
to
is-
Through the
donate to
entire
United Way.
year of 2016?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So the other kickoff event I wanted to tell you about is this Thursday night. It's out at the new Great Hall in the new Dworkin Student Activities Center at PNW. It is a joint business after hours, LaPorte, Michigan City, and Westville Chambers, and United Way is putting the event on. And so it will be our formal kickoff to our campaign. There'll be lots of good food, beverages and entertainment. There will be some awards. There's going to be a special guest there. Who's going to do a song, which is going to be really cool. So we invite people to come out and join us. It's a wonderful time to learn more about United Way, hang out, do some networking.
Is
Because
this adult only? As far as the Thursday night event, like more geared towards...
it is geared toward adults, definitely.
Okay.
It's just a business after hours. The chambers do them all the time, but this is probably the first joint one for all three chambers that I'm aware of.
Wow.
So we're excited about that. We got that coming up. And can we just real quick talk about a couple events coming up?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so there's an event with the Career Network, and this is young professionals, over 100 young professionals in the region putting a benefit on in October to support United Way. And to learn more about that, go to our website, unitedwaylpc.org, or give us a call. 219-210-3534. There's food, there's a photo booth, there's a DJ, and it'll be a great party night out, all to support United Way. Then we have a big fall event at the Blue Chip Casino. This is 500-600 people coming together for a night out of dinner and a stage show and auction items, and you can dress up in a 40s 50s style
there we go.
USO costumes, MASH, Captain America, Bob Hope, Bugle Boy. Think of all those images.
I can only imagine this evening when it happens, because Rick Federici is going to be emceeing.
He is.
People dressing up from the 30s and 40s in costumes and everything, and Rick
it.
Federici just floating all around the stage.
He's fantastic.
Yeah, he does a
It's gonna
great
be
job.
fantastic.
So-
Yeah, the theme is 1950s USO this year. And, we have a theme every year. People get such a kick out of dressing up. They don't have to come in costume, but they certainly can if they want. Free photo booth to get your pictures taken. And we
sounds like a
bring
really
in
fun night out.
so many different restaurants from around the area that are cooking their specialties, and you just go up and get it is every year the most fantastic fall gala.
And that happens on Veterans Day.
Yeah,
This
this year
year it
happens
is.
to be on Veterans
Oh,
Day.
how
And that's why we
there's
chose
the
that
theme.
USO theme.
There's a theme. So lots of ways to support United Way.
What if someone wants to sign up to be a volunteer with the Women United or the Student United? How can someone do that if they're not, it's obviously if they're not at Michigan City High School the night of the kickoff? What if they wanted to be a part of that? How can they do that?
At the school, they'll be hearing about it a lot, so that won't be a problem.
All area schools?
Michigan City High School is where it's starting. So, once they get that one up and running, then they'll start branching out to
I see.
other
So
area
right
high
now it's
schools.
only gonna be
So we're
Michigan.
creating the wheel right now.
Okay.
Yeah. But as far as making a donation or getting in touch with us about a program, you can always email info at UnitedWayLPC.org. You can always do that, or pick up the phone and call us. It's 219-210-3534, and we'll be happy to give people information.
Now, if you went through that number, I want you to hit that number one more time.
Sure.
But if you went through it, could I dial 211 and get that number?
Yeah, you could.
Yes, you could.
Could you do that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So give the number again either way. Just-
Okay, so you can call 211 and ask for the LaPorte County United Way phone number, or you can dial 219-210-3534.
Thank you both so much for being here today.
It's incredible.
Honestly, you could be here every day
I
of the
thought I
week, and there's
knew
so many programs. I
enough
know.
about the United
Just
Way.
reading through the weekend, like I said, I was really just impressed and surprised and shocked by everything that United Way is involved in. So Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having us, guys.
And
Thank
we
you for
would
everything you do. Yeah.
We would definitely love to talk with you again. And good luck at the kickoffs both this week. It sounds
Thursday
like a
and
great
Friday.
time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Come out and join us. Be our guest.
Thank
all
you
right.
so much.
Rock and roll.
Thanks for joining us again today. And thank you, LaPorte Hospital, for the show.
Catch
Have
you
a good
guys
day.
tomorrow.
Bye.
AM 1420, WIMS, Michigan City, a Girard Media Company station.